I found in my time as a content creator that this is one of the most controversial subjects that there are. Should you invest or overpay your mortgage? Now, I'm not going to give any advice in this video. I'm not even going to go into any significant level of detail in terms of numbers. I will give you the top line number so you know where we're at. But I'm going to go over the route that I'm taking and why I'm taking it. I've also got one really good hack that you might want to bear in mind. First of all, this is my house. I live in Derby. This is a really decent sized dining room, kitchen area. Spend most of our time in here. Probably only just made this video because I've just spruced up a little bit. There's 4 people in this house. And we've got this, it's 5 bedrooms. I've got another living room, 3 bathrooms. But because I'm in Derby, this actually only cost me, I bought it in 2019, 300, I wish it was 200, £333,000. I remember that number, I never forget it because it's all the threes, in 2019. Now, according to Zoopla, it's now worth around £450,000, but a lot of people have told me to ignore everything Zoopla says. Let me pick this up so that the audio is a bit better. Right, okay. So, I moved into 2019. I moved out of a house before that, which I bought in 2008. The worst possible time to buy a house, just before the crash. I bought that house, 3-bed semi, for 150k. Spent about 10 years in negative equity, but we didn't mind. Well, it was less than that. It was about 7 years in negative equity. We didn't mind because we knew we were staying there for a good 10 years at least. Sold that in 2019 for 180 and managed to release £80,000 worth of equity to put into this house. So I had an £80,000 deposit to put into this house, which was £333,000, which meant that I had a £250,000 mortgage. Now, at the time, we did 25 years, and because I've been here 6 years, I've got 19 years left. I'm 43 years old. I said I wasn't going to do loads of numbers, but here we go. We find ourselves in. I'm 43 years old, which means 19 years on it means that it'll be paid off at 62 if I don't overpay it, which I haven't done. And let me explain why. I did do some overpayments in the previous house, little bits here and there. Now, they are great, right? Getting your mortgage clear is one of the best things that you can do emotionally. Knowing that you own the house outright, knowing that you don't have that mortgage going out every single month, knowing that it is yours, I can't imagine what that's going to feel like. And I'm very much looking forward to having that feeling myself. But in 2020, I decided to start learning about investing, and I really threw myself into it. And at that point, they were talking about the fact that historically, markets have returned 9-10% per year, and they've done it for decades. And it's volatile. It goes up, it goes down, but it has trended in an upward direction for years. So I thought, right, I've learned a lot about this. I'm going to throw myself into investing. And that's exactly what I did. And I put a little bit in at the start, and then I got to a point where I was maxing my stocks and shares ISA. And I'm now at a point that this is my portfolio here. This is my stocks and shares ISA. Of course, why do I use a stocks and shares ISA? Because there's no tax to pay on any of the gains. There's no tax to pay on any of the dividends. I can take it out whenever I want to, which I haven't done. I've never taken a penny out of it. And I've used mainly Trading 2 and 2. I've used other brokers as well, but the majority of my capital is in Trading 2 and 2. By the way, if you do want to open an account with them, I'll put a link in the description. If you use that, deposit £1, you'll get a free fractional share as a result of doing so. There's a small kickback for me as well in the interest of transparency. It really helps the channel, enables me to do this sort of stuff. Now, since I started in February 2020 with my investing, again, just like buying before a crash my property, I bought into the market just before the COVID. Am I allowed to say that anymore? I won't say it. Before the pandemic cost of living crisis, pandemic crash, right, which dropped the market by 30%. Within basically the space of a week. So I started investing and my portfolio went down by 30-40%. I had a couple of grand in there, but I'd already done enough research to work out that this is part and parcel of investing, and this is just what happens. I wrote it, and in 6 months I was back into the green. Now, ever since I've continued to put as much into the market as I can, which I have done for 6 years now, and I showed you the portfolio that I've built. There's separate videos in terms of how I've managed to achieve that. Majority of investments I've put into has been into an all world and an S&P 500. And I did do a number of stock picks over the years. Unfortunately, through a bit of luck, a bit of research, a bit of emotional intelligence, because that's what it takes, being able to sell when they're up, I have managed to generate, not garner, I don't know what I'm saying that. I've managed to generate 19% per year. 19% per year is phenomenal. It's nearly double what the average is. Now, I don't think that I'm going to do that over my investing. I know I'm not going to be able to achieve that over my investing career, especially since I've now moved much more specifically into my all-world fund. That is, that and the S&P 500 make up 86% of my portfolio right now. Still a smattering of individual businesses because I like them. So 19% per year is what I've made. Right, that pretty much means I've doubled my money. I've put about 75, 80,000 pound in, and I've ended up with 150,000 pound. Now, when I took my mortgage out, it was when interest rates were really, really low. Remember those days? And that mortgage rate was 1.9%. What we wouldn't do for that now. But I was very lucky to lock in, right? And I locked in until February 27. So until March 27, I'm locked in at 1.9%. Now, what that effectively means is, this is how I'm going to explain it, is I have saved 1.9% on a pot of £250,000 per year. Meaning if I had have overpaid any amount over that time frame, that money would have saved me 1.9%. Okay, so if I'd have put £100 in over my mortgage, I'd be £1.90 better off. Instead, what I've done is I've put £100 in to a stocks and shares ISA, and I've generated 19% per year. So instead of being £1.90 better off, I'm £19 better off for every £100 that I've put into a stocks and shares ISA, rather than overpaying the mortgage. So the way to look at it is overpaying the mortgage saves you that percentage rate. £100 saves me £1.90. But investing £100 has made me £19. That's a difference of £17.20, £17.10 for every £100 that I've invested rather than overpaid the mortgage. Now, the problem with this comes twofold. People, first of all, as I mentioned before, people are massively interested in getting their mortgage paid because of the weight it takes off your shoulders. I completely understand that. The second problem why so few people do this is they don't necessarily understand the numbers. And the third problem is that you've got certainty versus uncertainty. So the certainty is that you're paying your mortgage off, which means that you know it's guaranteed to go down because you have paid it off. However, there is a lack of certainty in terms of what your interest rate's going to be. 1.9% at the moment, probably going to be 4.5% when I come to renegotiate. Versus a lack of certainty that you get with investing. I've done 19% per year. I understood it was high risk. That might not be the case going forward. It will be the case that some years my portfolio goes down, and it has done in some years. In 2022, my portfolio went down. Now, the other thing to consider here is the fact that you overpay your mortgage, that money's gone. You've overpaid your mortgage, it's disappeared, it's gone, it's great. Your mortgage term or the value that you owe has gone down. However, you can't then go back to your mortgage provider and go, do you remember I overpaid 500 quid? Can I have it back? I need it. That just doesn't work. However, with a stocks and shares ISA investing, I've got the pot that I showed you, £150,000. If anything was to go wrong, a catastrophe, the boiler was to blow up, my partner was to lose her job, I was to lose all of my channels, I've got £150,000 access to, tax-free, that I can just pull out within the space of 24 hours and have in my bank account. All 150k if I wanted to. So I actually have certainty as a result of doing that, of that approach that I've taken. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you about, which is absolutely bloody unbelievable. I've come across these guys recently. They're called Sprive. They're on Dragon's Den a few weeks ago. I am not sponsored by them, but I have an affiliate scheme which gives me a really tiny kickback if you use this link. It is much more in your interest. I want to tell you about it. It's called Sprive. What you do is you download it and you link it to your mortgage. It's an app, obviously. You link it to your mortgage. You sign it up into your mortgage. And it is basically one of these cashback schemes. However, the cashback goes off your mortgage and the rates that you get are phenomenal. Here's an example of a couple that I've seen. You know, some of these are 10% plus. So if you want to go to Marks and Spencer's, that's where you shop, fancy pants. Stop showing off. What you do is you go into Marks and Spencer's. You got two options. You go into Marks and Spencer's, you open the app, you do the self-service. It could be £53.25, for example. You go into the app, you type in £53.25, £53.25 Marks and Spencer's gift card, click yes, then you will have a £53 gift card on your phone which you then tap to pay for your shopping. That then will pay a percentage off your mortgage directly. Directly knocks off your mortgage. It is a phenomenal idea. The other option is you can preload it. Go to Sainsbury's, put a couple £100 on there. That's where you're always going to shop and use that to pay. And then again, you're getting a percentage off. So it changes all the time and there's super boosts. But if you're getting 10% on 200 quid, you've got 20 quid going off your mortgage directly. There's no tax impact as well. You don't have to declare it. This is cashback. It is a phenomenal idea. So listen, I'm going to put a link below to that if you want to explore it. Have a go. You can also use promo code Neil if you download it. Also, if you use that link or the promo code, you're going to get an extra £5 off your mortgage. So right from the off, you're going to get a £5 off your mortgage even if you don't do anything. A bit of a faff. I get it, right? Gift cards, having to mess around with it. But it's probably 20, 30 seconds worth of faff to be knocking potentially months, if not years, off your mortgage. Anyway, that would be the only way that I would overpay my mortgage. I'm going to continue to invest. I'm not going to continue to overpay. It is my personal opinion. It's the approach that I take. It has worked for me, but of course you do what's right for you.